5 mistakes almost everyone makes when traveling abroad. When you think about traveling abroad, what's the first thing that comes to mind? The excitement of exploring new destinations? The thrill of diving into unfamiliar cultures and discovering hidden gems? Or perhaps it's the anticipation of trying exotic foods and experiencing traditions completely different from your own. Here's the shocking truth. No matter how experienced you are likely making at least 1 or 2 huge mistakes when you travel abroad, mistakes that can completely ruin your trip before you even leave the airport. So, if you think you've got international travel figured out, think again. The truth is, even the most seasoned travelers, the ones who claim they know it all, often overlook the same basic principles. You might think you've got the routine down. Pack your bags, book your flight, book a hotel, and you're all set. But here's the reality. There are a few key mistakes that travelers make that can cause major headaches, stress, and even cost you more money in the long run. So, before you embark on your next international adventure, let's break down the 5 biggest mistakes almost everyone makes when traveling abroad. The first mistake is one that may surprise you: underestimating the importance of research. Many people think they can simply rely on their phones, apps, and GPS to navigate through their destination. Sure, it works at home, but when you're in a new country, relying solely on technology can lead you straight into problems. You may think you can just hop on a subway or train, but what if the schedule is different from what you expected? Or what if the station you're looking for is closed for maintenance? You need to do your homework on how local transportation works. In some cities, there are rules about how to board a train or how to behave while waiting in line. If you don't know these details, you might end up in an embarrassing situation or miss your ride altogether. Let's take it a step further. Understanding the local culture is just as crucial. It's not enough to know where you're going. You need to understand how to behave while you're there. Many people assume they can just act the way they would at home and be fine. But the reality is, what's acceptable in your culture may be completely offensive in another. In many Western cultures, it's common to shake hands when you meet someone. But in countries like Japan, bowing is the respectful greeting. In some cultures, direct eye contact is seen as confidence, while in others, it's considered rude. And tipping? In the US, it's expected, but in other places, it can be insulting. Understanding these differences is essential to avoid unintentional offense. The second mistake that most travelers make is neglecting health and safety concerns. It's easy to think everything will be fine when you're traveling, but there are health risks to consider. Certain countries require vaccinations before you can step on a plane, while in others, sanitation standards might not be as high as you're used to. Did you know that in some countries, even drinking tap water can lead to illness? You need to be cautious about what you eat and drink. Street food may seem tempting, but is it safe? And what about the medications you might need? You can't always rely on pharmacies in other countries to have the same medicines you use back home. Not having the right medications or vaccinations can ruin your trip. If you're serious about staying healthy, do your research on health risks in your destination and take the necessary precautions. The third mistake is one that can be costly: failing to plan for emergencies. It's easy to think nothing bad will happen, but emergencies often catch you off guard. Imagine losing your wallet or getting into a fender bender while abroad. Can you contact your bank to freeze your cards? Do you know where your embassy is if your passport goes missing? Many travelers don't prepare for emergencies until it's too late. It's essential to have a backup plan. Are your important documents photocopied and stored safely? What's your plan if your phone breaks or gets stolen? A little preparation can prevent major stress later. Let's talk about the fourth mistake: underestimating the threat of scams. If you've never been scammed while traveling, you might think you're immune. But scammers target unsuspecting tourists. From fake tour guides to overcharging taxi drivers, scams are more common than you think. You might be told a landmark is closed, and a friendly local offers a private tour at a higher price. Scammers take advantage of distracted tourists. The best defense is skepticism. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Don't let your guard down, no matter how friendly someone seems. The fifth mistake is perhaps the most overlooked: not budgeting properly. Travelers often forget to account for hidden costs. While it's easy to budget for flights, hotels, and meals, there are other expenses that can add up quickly. Local transportation, currency exchange fees, entrance fees to attractions, tips for guides, these costs can quickly add up. It's important to budget for everything, including unexpected delays or emergencies. A little extra padding in your budget can help you avoid financial stress while abroad. Managing your money properly can make or break your trip. So, now that you know the 5 biggest mistakes travelers make when going abroad, think about how many of them you've already made. It's easy to assume that travel is just about booking the flight and going wherever you want, but the truth is, a little preparation can make all the difference between a stressful trip and an unforgettable adventure. The best trips are the ones where you think ahead, do your research, and stay alert to potential problems. So, next time you plan a trip abroad, make sure you take these tips to heart. Traveling abroad doesn't have to be difficult, but it does require awareness that most travelers overlook. Are you ready to avoid these mistakes and have a stress-free, enjoyable trip? Or will you continue to fall into the same traps as everyone else?